Okay, so this lesson is volume measurement with the metric system, and you do get this under, you'll get this under your modules. This is the 9.5. So volume is the amount of space that a three-dimensional object occupies. So we would measure volume by, in this example, you can count the cubes of standardized sizes. And so in this example, if you had, for example, a cube that was 1 decimeter long, 1 decimeter wide, and 1 decimeter high, then the volume of it would be 1 decimeter cubed. So you'd have that 3 as an exponent. Anytime you see that cubic unit with the 3, it means we're looking at volume. If we were looking at 1 centimeters long, 1 centimeter wide, and 1 centimeter high, that would be 1 centimeters cubed. So examples, for example, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those blocks. So therefore it's 4 centimeters cubed. But you can also take a look at this by its length, width, and height. So you have 2 times 1 times 2. All right, that gives us 4. So again, 2 for length, 1 for width, and 2 for height. 2 times 1 times 2, that gives us 4. Here we have another example. So it is 4 length, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3, 1, 2, 3 times the 1 for height. So that gives us 4 times 3 times 1, which is 12 centimeters cubed. The chart here shows us some conversions and their relationship to each other. So for example, 1 centimeter cubed is equal to 1,000 millimeters cubed. So that leads us to our next lesson, which is on volume conversions. All right, so when we are doing volume conversions, we are converting our units of volume to a different unit. This time for volume, you're going to either multiply or divide by 1,000 for each step, right or left, or we're going to move the decimal 3 places right or left for each step on this chart. So for example, if we have 2.7 hectometers cubed, and we need to convert it to meters cubed. All right, so we're going from hectometers and we're going to meters cubed. So we're moving 2 decimal places. So from here, 1, 2, we're moving 2 decimal places on our chart. So therefore, you're going to multiply that by 3 because we're looking at volume. So we're actually going to be moving 6 steps when we move our decimal place here. I'm just going to show that like this, and we're moving 6 steps to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're just going to fill that in with zeros. All right, so we end up with 2,700,000 meters cubed. All right, let's try another one. Let's say we have 4,567.3 millimeters cubed, and we need to get this to decimeters cubed. All right, so on our chart, we're going from millimeters. Millimeters is here, and we need to get to decimeters. So we're moving 1, 2 to the left. 2 to the left, but because this is 3-dimensional, we have to multiply that by 3. So we're actually moving 6 places to the left. All right, so I'm just going to show that here. We're moving 6 decimal places to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the decimal place goes there. We're going to put a 0 in front of the decimal place and fill those spaces in with 0. So the answer is 0.0004567 decimeters cubed. Okay, so our next example, we're going from hectometers to decameters. So we're given 87 hectometers cubed, and we need to get to decameters cubed. So hectometers to decameters is just 1 decimal place if it was linear. But because we're looking at volume, we have to multiply that by 3. So 1 times 3, we're actually going to be moving 3 decimal places. So that puts me at 87. Our decimal place is here. I'm going to move that 3 decimal places to the right. 1, 2, 3 gives me 87,000 decameters. All right, we have a rectangular prism here, and we're going to calculate its volume. And volume is the length times width times height, because it is a 3-dimensional prism. So our length is 5 centimeters, our width is 3 centimeters, and then our height is also 3 centimeters, because we're given these dashed lines that represents that each of these sides with that dashed line, they all have the same measurement. So therefore our height is also 3. All right, and that gives us 5 times 3 times 3 gives me 45. But keep in mind units here, it is centimeters cubed. All right, it's always the cubed to represent a volume. If you just left it as centimeters, then you are actually just giving me a linear measurement or like maybe perimeter. But we are looking at volume, so it is a cubic unit.